we're not gonna see her or Shayna because they're
Yeah.
just gonna be in the back and she's gonna be getting blasted.
No, please. Ah!
She's-
Which brings us to Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia. Prince Ali, yes it is he, Ali Ababa. What'd you think of the pay-per-view? Let's start with that.
I didn't think it was a bad pay per view, but I didn't think it was like a good pay per view either.
Okay.
I was thinking about it. It's like maybe outside of like one or two things, there's not anything you would say, oh, you need to go back and watch this. But it wasn't a bad pay per view. It was just that, there.
I think the crowd definitely made it. It was a good crowd.
Yeah.
The international crowds are pretty good. Maybe they pipe it in. I can't trust them anymore.
No, they were pretty much into it.
Yeah, they were very into it. But yeah, everything else was just kind of there. It felt like a Raw.
I felt it was more than a Raw.
Okay.
There's definitely some matches that were just a Raw match. Like, well, I'll wait.
Okay, fair enough. Then let's start with Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins. And McIntyre's issue is that his title reign happened during the stuff where no one came into the buildings. Rollins hits a super kick, then McIntyre goes for a Claymore. Rollins ducks and nails a pedigree and a curb stomp for the win. Priest comes out to try to cash in his briefcase. And Sammy comes out in his little ninja gear. Why is everybody in ninja uniforms?
I don't know. That just seems to be their thing. Oh, they're in a hood, so they could be anybody. I guess they want to do like the reveal. But it's like, oh, that hooded person just jumped the barricade. That could actually be a fan.
Well, Sammy, he steals the briefcase before the ref can ring the bell. And then Sammy runs like a bitch. And Priest runs after him. And Rollins laughs. Then McIntyre's pouting backstage. And Ripley shrugs her shoulders at him with this really stupid face paint.
Yes, Rhea shrugs and does the I told you so type shrug.
Yeah.
So.
Which I thought was really interesting that they didn't interfere at all.
They sure didn't. Clean as a whistle.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought this was a really good match. I knew it would be. There was a spot I thought should have been the end. Rollins goes for a 450. McIntyre moves, so Rollins does the thing where he lands on his feet and rolls through. He rolls through, turns around into a Claymore. Clean as day. And he kicked out. So I thought that was the end of the match. But nope, they kept going. And Rollins kept fighting through it. Hit a pedigree, hit a stomp. When he hit the stomp, he hesitated a little bit, so I didn't think that was going to be the end, but it turned out it was the end. Another note, the crowd was big into McIntyre in this match. As a matter of fact, when Seth Rollins was going for a stomp, they started booing. So that was interesting. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Pretty good match. I wasn't surprised by the ending because that's who I picked.
Yeah.
But we'll see where they go forward with that.
I was surprised that Sammy stole the damn briefcase.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming. But it was like, oh, here comes Damian Priest. He's about to cash in. I'm thinking, wow, they're actually going to do a cash in at freaking Saudi. And then, yeah, as he's handing the briefcase, I'm like, they're going to do this cash in. And I was like, well, he's going to lose then. Because Seth Rollins, although he was hurt, he was selling the war that he just went through with McIntyre.
Right. He just had a match. He was exhausted.
Yes.
And battered.
But he wasn't like, really beat down like with weapons and stuff. So that was just enough for him to still be able to pull out the victory.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, if he's already getting booed, this is not going to help him.
Right.
Like, you're about to go Super Rollins, and that's just, the fans ain't going to like that. But, yeah, Sami Zayn saved us from all that. That just means we're going to have more Sami Zayn and Judgment Day stuff coming up Monday.
Oh, boy. Well, after that, we had Stark, Baszler, No Definition Rodriguez, Nia Jax, and Rhea Ripley. And Ripley wins by rip-tiding Stark onto Baszler in No Definition. And Baszler's 3 submission spot was cool, I thought, until it went on really long. Like, Nia had this really weird look on her face, like she was bored. I know she was trying to look like she was passed out, but
she was going to sleep.
Yeah, it looked goofy. Baszler's the one that did the Tower Power spot, but no Nia involved.
Baszler got the spot. Rhea Ripley, she may have, I didn't time it, but her entrance was long as hell. I think she may have out-edged Roman Reigns for the longest entrance of the night.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the hell this entrance was. So these dudes, that's all I can really say. These Saudi dudes, they just come out one at a time, and then they start lining up. And then by the time they ended up lining up, then her music hits and she comes out, and then she walks out in between them.
Huh.
I didn't know who those dudes were. First of all, that's not going to be the last time I say that tonight. And second of all, they just came out and it was long as hell. So that was weird.
It's fun.
But she might have edged out Roman Reigns with that.
It's funny that you say that, because I was thinking that, like, what happened to the WWE with the grand entrances and shit? I like her theme song.
Yeah, it's a good theme song. I'm just saying, it just didn't make sense because it was like, who the hell are these guys? Why do I care about these guys?
Oh, they're doing some sort of Saudi ceremony.
Okay.
I don't know.
Maybe I'm just uncultured to know what that is.
Well, I see incense, and they clearly have the garb.
Maybe I was just too uncultured to understand what was going on there.
They have incense,
I'm okay with that.
Or they have like cosmopolitans with dry ice in it.
Yeah, I recognize that. Maybe I just didn't understand what was going on.
Yeah.
Again, not the last time I'm going to say that tonight.
Fair enough. But yeah, so Rhea Ripley, of course, wins.
Yep, didn't expect anything else there.
Yep. So that brings us to Solo Sikoa and John Cena. Cena actually busted out some new shit. Like, we saw a choke slam. He dove off the top rope and hit the crossbody. He looked like a young Cena.
Yeah.
And all throughout the match, Cena just kept trying to go for that FU, and it just could not get it. And same with Sikoa. He couldn't get the spike. They each were just trying to get that kill shot, and they couldn't do it. And Cena was definitely overmatched. Pretty much throughout the match, he was just getting his ass whooped, but he never stopped coming after Solo. Like, you always had that fight. And then Cena gets Solo in the STF. Solo escapes. Cena tries to get Solo into it again, and then Solo pushes Cena back. And Cena charges. Then Solo nails Cena with the spike out of nowhere. And Solo hits Cena with another spike. And then Solo hits Cena with another spike. And then Solo hits Cena with another spike. And then Solo cradles John Cena's head like a child and then starts stabbing him repeatedly in the throat with a spike. And Solo wins, as he should have. God damn, if he didn't win from that.
I was shocked by this outcome. Well, obviously I picked John Cena to win, but
yeah,
I wasn't completely shocked that Solo won. It was how he won.
Right.
He hits the first spike, then there's the time passes, and then he hits the second spike. He still doesn't go for the pin. He hits the third spike. After the third spike, then he does like the pose and then the spike. And I'm like, okay, which one is Cena going to reverse into the FU and then get the win from?
Oh, I thought he was going to kick out. I really did. There was a part of me that like, oh, come on, Cena. But no, he didn't. Solo beat him clean. And Solo
beat him clean.
Solo celebrates forever. I thought something was going to happen, like there was going to be a run-in or something. But nope. He just celebrated. And then Cena, he leaves the ring pouting.
You got to be careful what you do next with Solo. This win did like 10 times more than what Austin Theory's win over Cena done.
That's true.
Right? This was like a emphatic. He beat him clean as a whistle. There was no outside interference.
Did he have?
And he beat him.
Did Theory get outside interference?
No, but if I remember, I think he low blowed him or something.
Okay.
What I'm saying it wasn't a dominant performance. Like Solo spiking the shit out of John Cena.
Yeah, he went all Michael Myers.
Yeah, I mean, if I could, me just like nitpicking, if I made this match right, I would have had John Cena put the blood packet in his mouth, and as he's getting the spike, the blood's dripping down his face, and then you get the ambulance, and he's got to put the thing on his neck, and they cart him off.
See, I would have liked to see, when they did the close up of his thumb.
Yeah,
I wanted to see blood on the thumb.
Yeah, see, it could have been an instance where blood would have helped. Yep. I mean, it was still like a shock, and you had to take a second. It's like, wow. Although they really just did that, but
in hindsight, though, after watching Flair bleed, I kind of understand why they don't do that anymore.
I don't know what he did with the amount of blood he bled. I think they used blades back then.
Yeah, he used razors,
and he freaking like just went all the way across his forehead.
Yeah,
I think there was like chunks hanging off and everything.
Yeah, it was bad.
But yeah, big moment for Solo there, though.
Yeah.
Got to see what's next for him.
Yeah, they keep going up and down with him. Like, one minute he's a badass, the next minute he's not. So I want to see him go one way.
Yeah, I think after this, he needs to go on a pretty good win streak.
Yep. I mean, to be fair, he hasn't lost a whole lot. He's just not completely dominant either. He's been the loser when he's teamed up with Roman.
Right.
All right, Miz TV. Miz brings out some Saudi actor. And then Miz and the Saudi actor, they start to get in the interview. Then Grayson Waller comes out. Grayson Waller turns Miz TV into the Waller effect. Waller beats up the Miz, and then Miz beats up Waller. And I think the Saudi guy helped.
And the Saudi guy did a people's elbow.
Okay. Rey Mysterio Jr. versus Logan Paul. Paul won because Escobar is an idiot. Go ahead and go into more detail because you probably watched it.
I did watch it. First of all, shout out to Logan Paul. There was a spot where Rey Mysterio was going for like
shout out to you because you did say that he was going to win. I said there's no way in fucking hell. So shout out to you. You were right.
Oh, I knew that was going to happen. Yeah. So there's this spot. Rey Mysterio, he's going to do a lion tamer. He hits the second rope and then he does the backflip. And I don't know what happened. Maybe he didn't rotate enough, but he was about to come down right on his head. And Logan Paul caught him from like an inch off the mat. Pretty much saved him from landing on his head. So that was a good moment there for him. Yeah, the ending of the match. So one of Logan Paul's cronies, he has brass knuckles. And he's going to give brass knuckles to Logan Paul. And Santos Escobar comes from the barricade and stops this whole thing. Now, he grabs the... Santos Escobar, being he grabs the brass knuckles. The dude that was going to hand Logan Paul the knuckles starts running. So for some reason, Santos Escobar puts the knuckles on the ring
right
apron.
In front of Logan Paul.
Yeah,
Logan Paul is
chasing the guy.
Watching this whole thing with his mouth agape.
Yeah, and then he starts chasing the guy, chases him off. And then Logan Paul gets the brass knuckles.
Of course he gets the brass knuckles.
Rey Mysterio goes for the 619, and then bam, right hand.
Well, no, he hit the 619, and then he did something else, and that's when he got the right hand. Right hand of Paul.
Yeah, and Logan Paul's your new champion. So
Escobar's an idiot.
Or is he? Maybe he did that on purpose because he wanted to cost Rey the championship. Maybe 20% of me was expecting that when he got the brass knuckles, he was going to hit Rey with them. He didn't do that, but maybe he put him on the apron on purpose to cost Rey the match. Because, Rey's done so many things to him. Why can't he do one thing to get him back? He took his title match to begin with. That should have been Santos Escobar in that match, being as champion, because remember, Rey took that spot.
I thought Logan Paul's goon was one of the LWO guys. I thought he turned.
No, it was just one of his goons.
And yeah, and Cole was all excited about it. And I'm like, why is Cole so excited about the other LWO guy?
And I thought it was Mike, whatever his name is, but it wasn't him either.
All right, so Bianca Belair and Io Sky. This was a great match, first and foremost. Io worked on Bianca's injured leg / knee. They kind of interchanged it throughout the whole match. I'm not the biggest fan of hers, but I got to give credit where it's due. I actually believe that her leg was hurt. And there was a spot where Io did a drop kick on Bianca's knee from a trio woe, and it just looked brutal. And then Io tosses Bianca to the apron, but she still holds on to her ponytail. And then Bianca pulls Io into the ring post with her ponytail, which I thought was brilliant. And then Io just crumpled to the mat like jelly. Then Bianca goes to the top rope, and that's when Bayley comes out, and she immediately distracts the referee. Io dodges at the last second from Bianca's attack, and then she gets a 2 count. Then Io wraps Bianca's ponytail around the top rope, and she starts kicking the shit out of her. I thought that was great, too. Bayley starts to distract the referee again. Bianca decks her. Then she decks Io, and then she goes after Bayley to the outside. Io tries to attack Bianca.
She's had enough.
Yeah. Io tries to attack Bianca, but she moves out of the way, and Io hits Bayley instead. Bianca tries to get back in the ring, but then Bayley stops her. And then Bianca goes to KOD Bayley through the announce table, but someone stops her. It's this figure that's like 90 pounds. Who is it? It's Kairi Sane! And Kairi backhands Bianca, and then she does a kick thing off the barricade, causing her to like dive into the ring post, which was great. Again, credit where it's due. Bianca was good in this match. Bianca is almost counted out, but then she manages to slide in just in time. And then Io's waiting to deliver the over the moon salt. Then Io and Kairi beat Bianca's ass after the match. And Kairi hits her elbow. Then Io and Kairi, they hug. And Bayley, she doesn't know what to think. She's just all worried looking. I've heard that Bayley was, I guess, the last interaction she had.
Yeah, Michael Cole brought that up. Basically, Bayley was the one that writ her off TV.
Oh, okay.
So that plays a history there.
Okay. I'll watch this without the commentary, so.
So, yeah, during the pandemic, Bayley was the one that writ her off TV, and it was to help Sasha Banks beat Asuka.
Okay.
So
I didn't know they said that.
Good
Okay. Cool.
Well, they didn't say that. They said that, yeah, Bayley was the one that sent her out of the WWE. Right. But I'm filling in the gap. That's what happened.
Okay. So immediately there's going to be some explaining to do on Bayley's end.
I'm seeing it another way.
Okay.
Hold on to your penises, because this is what I'm seeing. First of all, when Io hit Bayley, you notice she didn't really like go to help her or anything. She just looked at her.
Right.
So what I'm seeing here is Io brought in Kairi Sane as like her own backup. Maybe this is breaking up Damage Control. Io's going to side with Kairi Sane. But now we need another member. Who could that be? Asuka. And then we have Asuka, Io, and Kairi in one stable.
Was Asuka and Kairi feuding when Bayley took her out?
No, they were a tag team.
Okay.
So that's why I say Asuka is going to be the third member. And then where does that leave Bayley? Well, she's going to get kicked out, and maybe she's going to turn face or something.
It will be Bayley and Dakota Kai versus Io and Kairi Sane. And then there's
and then that does leave Dakota Kai. Where does she side? Obviously, if they bring Asuka into this group of like all Japanese women, now Dakota Kai doesn't fit.
Oh, they can move Dakota Kai to Raw so she can walk like she just rode a horse for 3 hours.
We're not gonna see her, Shayna, because they're just gonna be in the back and she's gonna be getting blasted.
No, please, ah!
Someone's gonna walk in and be like, "Oh my god, I'm sorry. I feel sorry for you." But maybe she does go to Raw outside of that part of it.
Yeah, so good to see Kairi. I liked her little look. I liked it and I didn't like it. I thought she looked a little too cartoony, but I did like how she looked a lot darker.
She had that look about her like, I'm not to be fucked with.
She didn't look like a Sailor Moon character.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's see if Asuka becomes part of that group. We are building towards a War Game because they did announce War Games is coming back for sure. So maybe Asuka joins Io, Kairi. I'm thinking of like who else could be. I mean, I guess in this scenario, since it's 3 weeks, Bayley's still going to have to be in the group before, she gets kicked out.
Io, Asuka, Kairi, maybe Zaya.
Yeah, that could be.
Pretend she's Japanese. I don't know. So Damian Priest and Cody Rhodes had a match, and Priest comes out with the tag belts, no briefcase, of course. And the Saudi crowd did indeed do the wow.
They sure did.
I'd probably have more interest in this match if they didn't face each other every Raw since Cody beat Lesnar.
Yep, this is one of those ones I said this just felt like a Raw match.
Yeah. Cody took a hell of a bump outside of the ring, though, when Priest did the clothesline. He did that flip. Looked like it hurt. Priest crossroads Cody on the announce table. Priest goes for another crossroads in the ring, and then Cody turns it into a crossroads of his own. Balor immediately comes out. The ref is immediately distracted by Balor. Then McTurd tries to attack from the other side, but he gets decked. Then Priest hits the South of Heaven for a near fall. Then they call out their heavy, Dominic Mysterio, and he has a chair. But then Jey Uso comes out and he super kicks everybody. Cody nails a Cody cutter from the top rope for a 2 count, which honestly, that should have been the finish. Then Cody does his little triple crossroads for the win. And I don't know how Priest can wrestle with that hair. It looks like it weighs like 20 pounds.
It just might. It was a weird style today.
Yeah, but it was a match. And finally, L.A. Knight versus Roman Reigns. They milk the entrance. Well, Roman milks his entrance. And I like when they did the announcements, Knight was just kind of talking shit the whole time. It was just very tense.
Yeah, Knight with his, what does he call it? Kavorka?
So Knight starts off hot. Both try offense at the beginning. And then Knight sets Reigns up for the elbow early, but Heyman distracts the referee. And Roman throws Knight into the turnbuckle really hard. And he starts shushing the crowd. As always, he's pretty good at playing to the crowd. He did one clothesline to Knight, and then he did the little LA Knight thing, the little point.
Yeah, the mocking LA Knight point.
Yeah. Roman goes for a Superman punch, but Knight counters it into a spinning neck breaker. And then Knight goes for his elbow, but then Roman counters it into a Superman punch for a 2 count. They actually get a "This is awesome" chant at this point. Then Knight hits a superplex, then his elbow for a 2 count. And at this point, Solo comes out to the entrance, and the ref is distracted by this.
Well, Solo just killed Cena, so
you got
to pay extra attention to that.
He's at the entrance being restrained by 10 people. Better pay attention to that. While on the other side, Jimmy, he pulls Roman out of the ring, and I don't know what the hell he's doing. Is he trying to get him out of there, or is he pep talking him? What do you think he's doing?
I couldn't tell you.
Okay. So Knight snatches Jimmy from inside the ring, and then he gets hit with a Superman punch and a spear. And then the Knight kicks out at 2, and then Roman starts beating the shit out of Knight. And the crowd starts chanting Roman sucks. Then Roman gets Knight in the guillotine. Knight fights out of the guillotine 3 times, and then hits Roman with a BFT. Jimmy Uso puts Roman's leg on the rope, a cunt hair away from that 3 count. Knight is beside himself, and he chases after Jimmy and sends him through the announce table. Finally, somebody goes through the announce table. And then Roman spears Knight through the barricade and then throws him back in the ring and hits another spear for the win. And still our undisputed heavyweight champion. And I wasn't surprised one bit. It was a good match, though.
It was a good match, but I don't think anybody should be surprised here.
Nope.
We knew what was happening.
I thought Knight looked a whole hell of a lot better in this defeat than he did in that damn pitch black match.
Yeah, we've come a long way from that.
Yeah, but that was Crown Jewel.
That was Crown Jewel.
I'd say it was so-so. The crowd kind of made it. The EO Bianca Belair match, that I dare say that might be the surprise of the evening.
The surprise that Bianca lost?
Yeah. Well, that and Kari came back.
I don't know. I still just can't get over the Cena Solo match.
Okay.
Everything about that match. It's just checks all the boxes. All the boxes for the night for me.
All right. Well, that's Crown Jewel. And the next pay-per-view is Survivor Series, right?
Survivor Series. And like I said, they announced that War Games is officially back. So there was that
Yay.
question of, are we actually getting more games? Yes, we are getting more games.
All right. And we'll look forward to seeing how the teams shape up there, at least for the dudes.